Hello viewers, and welcome to another discussion topic over here. We have for our social issue commentary, and today we have a special group of women here, and today our topic is a topic related to women rights. Before we start, I would like to request each and every one of us to introduce ourselves. I'm Wabang Moa, a director of Highland Media.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Gracy. I'm the state coordinator of State Resource Center for Women. State Resource Center for Women is under the Department of Social Welfare, under the aegis of the Nagaland State Social Welfare Board. And as a center for women, we facilitate the implementation of women-centric schemes in Nagaland, all across Nagaland. Yeah, and we are also implementing two very specific recent scheme, that is the One-Stop Center and Women Helpline. Yeah, we can.
Hi everyone, my name is Chothalu Phesao, and I'm the senior call responder of the recently launched scheme of the Women Helpline 181.
Hello everyone, I'm Vikhorieno Meru. I'm the center administrator for One-Stop Center.
So all of you are from the State Resource Center for Women, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you have been involved in various issues for women all over the state. And so today we want to talk about gender-based violence, and the present scene in Nagaland. So initially, what exactly is, for the benefit of our laymen and our viewers, what exactly is gender-based violence?
The gender-based violence, it's also the other, to make it simplified, we can call it violence against women. So any form of violence, for example, that can cause a physical, sexual and psychological harm to a woman. That is manifested in different forms like rape, sexual abuse, trafficking for commercial sexual exploitation, domestic violence, and many cases like that, sexual harassment in the street or at work. So it encompasses a lot of form of violence happening both at the private sphere and at the public sphere as well.
What is the scenario in Nagaland? What is the state of affairs, or compared to other states of India or even in Northeast India? How is it the scenario for violence against women?
Going strictly by the data that we have, according to the National Crime Bureau report, we take pride in the fact that Nagaland is one of the safest. Nagaland is the safest state. In 2014, it was the safest state. In 2015, Sikkim topped Nagaland, but it's still among the topmost safest state. We take pride in the fact. But in 2014, we had about 67 cases recorded, and in 2015, we had about 90 cases reported. And though in India, if we go by the data again, every 1 minute 2 women are being raped. Our data in Nagaland, it may not be as at par with it's I don't think it's even fair to compare, for that matter. If you go only by the rape statistics, in 2014 we had 30 cases of rape, 35 cases of rape in 2015. That itself, considering our population, considering about the kind of community where we take pride in the where we claim that we have gender equality, that's still a lot. And these are, let me tell you, only reported cases. And based on our experiences in the last 5 years in the field, at least, we know that many of the cases goes unreported. And that is visible everywhere. My own neighbor, in my own family, but we don't want to talk about it. You know?
So why is it, not reported? Is there some kind of in our society, in Naga society, is there kind of a stigma, or why all these things are not reported?
Both of you have some field experience. Maybe you may be able to say more about it.
Yes, in generally when a woman comes and reports, a crime against her, most of the time the society takes it like it's her to be blamed. Even in the general public, you question things like, what was she wearing at that time? Where was she? So no matter what kind of a person the person is, I don't think anybody deserves to have a crime committed against them.
Many cases goes unreported because of social stigma also, and then some are reluctant to come forward. And then recently in the 181 center also, we have cases coming forward, but we give our best. Even the 181, along with the stakeholders, we try to do our best, but they want to withdraw the case because of the social stigma. Yes.
Okay. But before that, we'll talk more about social stigma. But what is 181?
Yeah, 181, it is a women helpline. It is a toll-free number, and we work for 24/7, which is like 24 hours in a day and 7 days in a week.
Okay.
And it is a toll-free number, and it is for any women or girl in distress.
Okay.
Yes.
So any kind of distress.
Yes, yes.
Mental, physical, and.
Yes, physical stalking, abuses, and then cybercrime also, and then you can, if teasing also. You can call the 181, domestic violence. And most of the cases which are coming forward is from the domestic violence.
I see.
Yes,
I
yes.
see. So is there any other name for this 181 call center? And what exactly is the setup here? If a woman calls you in distress, calls you,
Yes,
then
yes.
what is being done?
Okay, somebody dials the 181. And then it comes to us. Then the team response teams are there who will pick up the call, and according to the need of the victim, we will provide the options. Like for example, if she needs a police, we will take the help of the police. We will refer the case to the police. If she needs to go to the hospital, then we'll call the ambulance. And then sometimes we refer the case to the OSC for shelter homes.
So the person who is operating the 181 center, he or she is under you, working under you, right?
Yes.
So how does she contact the required people, the required agencies?
We have a software, MIS software, and all the contact details are there. So it is like immediate action. Once the caller calls us, then if she needs the concerned policeman, then the directory is there itself, and we dial the number.
Director of?
Directory,
Okay,
the phone
right.
directory.
Just before the 181 and the one-stop center were implemented in the state, we had a series of consultative meeting with all the partner departments and service providers. It can be the home department of the police, it can be the health department to give medical support, or it can even be NGOs who are running the shelter home. So through them, we kind of give specialized service, as she mentioned earlier, depending on the need. But this is a very important information. If at all there are some viewers who don't know English, I want to just repeat it in Nagamese.
Yes.
Kunba manuk diktar paigena noilibi mota maki gorde marabaji kure noilibi rastate noilibi bahade kunba apni ki diktar di thakina mondu kuri thakisi gole do 181 kitia holibi kod to kundu district thakile call kuro parbo na. It's available 24/7 rati 12 baji tak moi khan la team manu khan donu gumai gena call uthai thake na.
12 baji he noy hodai din.
Hodai din, yeah.
So please tell us more. In case a woman is a distressed woman calls you and needs help, and then you refer her to the police or to the medical thing. What next?
Depending on the case. So if that person may only be wanting to know, sometimes they call just to know what is exactly what you're asking now. What can you do for me in case I go to police? Many of them don't want a police intervention.
Okay.
Maybe they just need counseling. Maybe they just need somebody to listen to, or what are the facilities that or can she take a temporary shelter so that she can be safe for some time. So it can be anything. So we will keep in mind, and many of them who call, since it's women helpline, the adults call, so we will, whatever services we are providing, we do it in consultation. So in serious crime cases, FIR is a must. So those cases, with the consent of the victim, we see what is best for him, for her, we give her advice, and if need be, we might have to even counsel the family.
Okay.
There's
Yes.
also been instances where the family would call and tell us that there's such and such incident that has happened, but we want to know the different options that are available, and the family is meeting this evening. So after a decision is made, we will call you back and help you proceed. See if we want to proceed with the case.
I see.
Mostly they will not call back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
They
Nagaland
withdraw the
being a
case
very-
again.
They withdraw it.
Yes, very family oriented as well
Correct.
as very
Yes.
even male oriented society, and so the question of stigma once again, like why is it there? Why is stigma present for crimes against women or against actually any kind of crime? There's almost as if there's a kind of stigma there.
Yeah.
So
I think I would like to even ask the viewers, why do we stigmatize them in the first place? You know, that's a challenge for you all to think about it also. And also another thing is when people come forward, what we have observed is that is the last resort. I mean, that she is coming forward when she can't handle it anymore. She's calling 181 or she's coming to the one-stop center when she thinks that enough is enough.
Okay.
All this while she's been bearing. So remember, a woman, one is being taught to be patient. You know, generally our society, our social perspective, we are taught, we are also sometimes often telling her to be submissive, to be more, compromise the situation, you know, or maybe bear the violence that is there and hoping that someday he or the abuser would get better. These women have to think about social people, what people will think about their family. This is not just about her alone, her family, her husband's family, her in-laws' family, her own family. Then she have to think about the children. Then lastly, she thinks about her own safety. So it is not just that physical harm that is being caused. It is also the whole emotional and psychological trauma that she undergoes. And that's why we as a society, while even cautioning why do we stigmatize her, we have to introspect and seeing that the next time something is happening in our neighborhood, in our church, anywhere, we are not just pushing her to go back to the same situation, but also telling the society that it is wrong to violate women, you know, and maybe somewhere. So, and then this change is not going to come overnight, but I guess I wish and I hope and I pray that more churches and societies would also come forward and have such kind of sensitization program, even in their locality, even in their church or anywhere in their community.
Okay, that's right. Coming, the question of stigma once again.
Yeah.
Like, is it also because women are being considered differently, or what is your observation in Naga society with your experience, the experience you have had? Is it part of our society, or is it because of society, or is it because the individual is not does not have a wide perspective, so that he or she has got these certain rights, or whereby she can live her life positively in society?
Well, I would blame both in a sense, I think our roots, the societal roots, are so deeply imbibed in us that the moment you give birth to a girl child, you're kind of bringing her up in a, this is the way a girl behaves. This is, something a girl does, and this is what boys are supposed to do. This is, till you get married. And then even after marriage, I think, from what I've seen through the cases we get, there's so much of, wives are supposed to be this way, husbands do this, wives are not to do this. There's so many do's and don'ts for women. I think equally for men, but for women, I think it is so stressed that when a woman comes forward for something like this, it's we can applaud the boldness and anything of the woman who's coming forward, but there's also this group that is behind her who's always pointing fingers at her. And that will continue. She has to bear with the burns even after.
Like sister said, she has to consider her family, her children, her husband, everything. So it's kind of like a double burden.
Definitely. And again, it's not Nagaland specific, it's happening everywhere. It's such a private affair that you don't want to make it, you don't want to publicize the issue,
And for us, I think when we talk about violence, we always only think about the physical violence. But there are other forms of violence when you're emotionally, you could be in a household where you're always emotionally suffering, or you're being even financial, economical. So there are lots of aspects to being abused. It does not necessarily mean you have physical wounds to show. So part of the thing that One Stop Center provides is psychosocial counseling. We have a counselor present on call, and this is a great need for our society right now. I think we do also give medical assistance and legal advice, and assistance to file FIR and all that. But psychosocial counseling is something, a concept that is new, I guess, and it is very, very important.
Coming to the steps to address these issues, like coming back to that call center, how those women approach the call center, or the ones? What is it known by another name besides call center?
The one-stop center.
The one-stop, the Sakhi one-stop center is a different scheme, but it's linked to the 181.
Integrated.
Yeah, it's integrated to 181.
So what is Sakhi one-stop center?
Sakhi, just to make things simple, Sakhi in Sanskrit means a woman's friend, and one-stop center is perhaps in the past, when you have a situation, you go to the police separately, you go to the lawyer separately, you go, but this is one stop where all this are integrated, and the support system is there. So any woman who face violence of any kind can come approach One Stop Center, and like I said earlier, we have also a shelter home. For a 5-bedded shelter home with shelter room, you would say, and we can keep the person up to 5 days.
Okay.
Free fooding, lodging.
Yeah, free fooding.
Okay, free fooding, lodging.
Yes.
Okay.
There are 2 one-stop centers.
Yeah, The first one-stop center in Nagaland was is in Dimapur. It started last June 2016, and the Kohima one-stop center was inaugurated in November.
So how has been the usage of these one-stop centers? Are people coming forward, women?
Yes, with more awareness now, people are starting to realize we get cases through 181 because we are integrated with them. We also have people just walking in with their problems, and they come to the center directly.
Okay.
We also have a lot of referral cases from either the police or just general. You see your neighbor suffering and someone else is reporting in their place. Yeah.
So how has been the awareness so far? Where do the women know about the one-stop center? Where from?
We have been integrated with the 181 and the one-stop center, and we are going for awareness also. Through panchayats and then churches also.
Grassroots level.
Yes, schools, colleges.
Okay.
Yeah, we go everywhere.
Oh, so you go physically there and you tell about this things.
Yes.
Okay.
Just recently we have covered almost all the districts. We are yet to cover one, but we hope to do that soon. And other ways, if they want to know more about One Stop Center, anybody can dial 181. Address would be given.
Yes,
one
181.
Address.
So 181 through mobile phone or through any kind of
any landline, yeah.
Or you can even follow on Facebook as well if
Yes.
anybody's techno savvy.
Okay.
And Twitter also.
Twitter as well.
So what is the Facebook address or Twitter address?
181 Nagaland.
Okay, 181 Nagaland. So, okay. We need to tell more about this. Perhaps you can mention some of these important points in Nagamis also. But before that, one-stop center. So you were saying that only 2 one-stop centers, right?
Yes.
So what is the plan now? And if these one-stop centers are located only in few towns, then what about the other towns and districts?
Yeah, the state government with under the nodal department of social welfare department, we are processing and proposing to the ministry to extend one-stop centers to other districts as well. But going strictly by the data, Nagaland is also among the safest state. So we don't know at what stage the proposal, when will the proposal be sanctioned. But definitely, right now, the Ministry of Women and Child, they are also very determined to extend it in the days in the years ahead. So we hope more one-stop center would come about.
So, for example, Kohima has a one-stop center. What about a person from Kipiri or Woka, what do they do? Or they can call 181. And so if they need to be there in the one-stop center, then what should they do?
We have a case there itself, from Kipri district. It was a domestic violence, and then the wife, she called us, and then she said that her husband is always physically abusing her also, and then they even want to terminate the unborn baby inside the stomach. So she called the 181, and then we gave her the option that she can go to Dimapur one-stop center, or here in Kohima one-stop center also, and we gave the option that there is protection officer also. Those are our nodal officers there in the district. So she said that she wants to go for this protection officer. So what the protection officer or the district welfare officer does is that once she goes there, she can personally have a contact with that person, and then like they will produce a domestic violence form where she will be protected from her husband. And if the husband tries to beat her up, then he can go to jail. He can go to jail. So it is those we get from the magistrate, so from the district itself. So she said that she will go for that one, and she's safe.
So is that like an
protecting her.
FIR, or is that connected to the what document?
Yeah, under the Domestic Violence Act, sometimes it may not just necessarily be an FIR. It is just a protective mechanism, not necessarily resulting in divorce. But sometimes, just giving a warning that, hey, I'm watching you, that gives a lot of support to a woman, in distress. So it's all about it. And then it's not just warning them, but it's also giving the psychosocial support to the woman there.
That's right. That's right. Are there any specific cases in your experience you have come across where instead of physical violence, other forms of violence are being perpetrated?
Yeah, we have quite a number of cases recorded at 181 and One Stop Center.
Actually, we have, as being said by our ma'am here, Nagaland is considered as one of the safest places. But then we were launched last year in June 26th. 2016. And till date we have 89 cases, and so you can see the difference there. And there we have a lot of cases, and cybercrime is also one of the violence which is topping up among all these things. Domestic violence comes first, after that the cybercrime. And so these cybercrimes are like we have been talking about other states, but here it's present here itself, where one is using the identity of the other people and like trying to defame that person. No, it's going on, and it's very much present here. And what we do is that we are integrated again with the police department, where the cybercrime branch and we together they try to track down those accusers, and then like we try to nab all those person also, and also warn them also, because like some of them, usually it's the teenage people, not those involved in this cybercrime. No,
they're not even aware that it's a crime.
Yes.
I think one of the crimes that is also coming up is human trafficking from our state to other states. We've heard in the news, we've seen newspaper articles, but bringing the victims back and rehabilitating them is a very big issue.
The other issue that we are also seeing is the abuse of domestic help at home.
Correct.
Yes.
Those who are migrating from either the neighboring states or particularly from eastern Nagaland or from rural areas, they're being kept as help, but then when we see them, there are various forms of violence, not just physical, but emotional is definitely there, financial is definitely there, all forms of abuse clubbed together there, and even in some cases even sexual. I mean, some of the cases were even reported in the newspapers, so it's only on the rise, and those lucky ones gets to report.
Right. Yeah, you're talking about cyber crime, and you were saying only the younger group are involved, but in the near future, this is an area where Nagas are really involved. Thousands of people are involved in social media, and then they try to do this and that, and become what you call so-called tablet keyboard warriors, sort of. And so a lot of our young people are involved in this, and maybe not the very young also. So what could be other steps you can tackle this problem, this upcoming problem?
That's a very interesting thing. Recently we had a case, and she came forward saying that a man from the Facebook is trying to defame her, and then like by uploading pictures which is not her, but by editing the faces. So what she did was call us, and like she was asking what she has to do or what can be done on our part. So we suggested that she can block that person at first, and if that person doesn't stop, then she can again call back to us. Then the first step was like, okay, she blocked that person, but then the man, that particular accused, he was like again using another account and then trying to upload the pictures again and threatening also. Then she called back to us, and then she called back to us, and then we say that this is very serious issue, so we went to the cybercrime cell in the PHQ, and then we gave all the details along with the victim, because she's comfortable with that. So we don't do anything if the victim is not comfortable. We always consult with her, and if she wants to go forward, then we go forward with the case. So we went together there, and the friends of this victim, they even called to that person also, because they have the number. They have the number of that person, because the victim gave to her friend also. So the friend told that that particular person that she is that there is a particular women helpline, and we are taking their help, and through them we are also contacting the policeman. So now, but just by knowing that that information, the accused, he stopped it. He stopped it. Now it's almost 3 weeks that there is no complaint for that from that particular lady. So awareness is very important here. Even to the women flock and to the rest of the society also. Knowing that a woman helpline is there, and that we are there to do anything, and that we can go far beyond, and we can until the problem is solved, we are going to give our best. So they know that. So now, so like that particular person also, he stopped disturbing this particular lady.
So actually that's for a woman who is willing to come out. But what about hundreds of other women who are silent,
No, that's the person. If you are silent, remember, the same man or the same abuser is going to target another woman weeks down the line. So please, that's the only thing I can say. Be assured that you're safe with us, and then you can just by voicing out and by putting or by complaining, by reporting about it, you're actually not just saving yourself but other women as well.
And here. Women, like in our society, when we go near the police station, or when we are talking with a policeman, it's like it's embarrassing, or like we don't want to, though we have our problem, we don't want to go to them because people might talk about us. But this 181, it's very personal again, because you just dial in your number, and then like you can talk anywhere in your room, and you can contact us, and then the call responder are there. Those who are like, they can give counseling to you, and you can be personal with your feelings about it. So that's why I think the cases are more here in our 181 also.
So
people are coming forward.
They have a feeling of anonymity as well as security.
Exactly.
And that mostly the person behind the 181 is a woman, right?
Yes.
Okay, very interesting. And we really need to make this awareness, give more awareness to the public.
Definitely.
And we wish that our men and women and from all spheres of society are aware of this 181 as well as the issues involved. And what could be some of the challenges you face, as you implement this?
Technically speaking, we use the ISDN, which depends on the BSNL network. So like sometimes the caller call us, but then it goes to other state, and we cannot help that because it is because of the network problem. And so mostly like even my friends also, when they dial 181, they go to other state, and then from other state also it comes to us. Like for example Meghalaya and all, Mizoram and all, Uttar Pradesh and all, even if they dial their 181, it comes to us. Sometimes the network problem is there. So that's the technical issue. And some challenges that we face are when people come forward, sometimes when we want to give our best also, they want to withdraw it because again their family tell them not to do like that kind of thing. So social stigma again, it comes back again. Coming
back to that ISDN line and why you mean this line is used by other states also, right?
Yeah,
The
it's a
same
universal helpline.
Okay.
I mean, in the sense, universal helpline in India. So even when you're in Delhi or in Mumbai, you can still dial 181, and it'll go to some helpline centers
Okay.
of 181
Okay,
in that
so
particular state.
That means you get calls from other states also.
No,
in-
no.
No.
Technically speaking, 181, those calling from within the Nagaland should reach our Kohima center.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes it gets diverted to other states.
Okay. Okay.
But we have the 10-digit number as well, which is hard to remember, but you can follow us on Facebook,
Yes,
get the
yes.
number there, or even email us, message us, because there are times when the BSNL network goes down, that's like
Yes.
beyond our control.
Okay,
That's only
okay.
with this we are only informing, so people who call us and can't reach us are not discouraged by it.
Yes.
So besides the 181, you have email and what else?
Facebook, Twitter.
Can you
Yeah.
please give the email address?
Yeah, Facebook also, it's 181 Nagaland, and even in Twitter you can reach to us at 181 Nagaland.
And the email ID is?
Email ID is nld.whl@gmail.com. I repeat again,
Yes.
nld.whl@gmail.com.
Okay, good. So viewers, we have got a Twitter, we've got email, we've got phone number, and anything else besides that? So I mean that's enough. I should think. So we are printing it out. We are putting it on the picture for your benefit, and then please be aware of this. And this is a very important issue for your sister, for your mother, for your auntie, for your female relatives. So including the males, please be aware of this. Especially the women, you be aware of this. So anything else to add before we finish?
I mean, it's very sad, isn't it? We are ending with a warning note. Oh, remember this.
Yeah.
Our long-term goal is, I mean, our long-term goal, we have to progress towards a society where we don't need 181, where we don't need one-stop center. These are only a rehabilitative mechanism or protective mechanism. But what we need to focus on is prevention, you know, and not only telling the woman that you shouldn't go at particular time during the night or particular time during the day and what to wear, what not to wear, but also men. Let's learn to respect women, or the teachings that go in the Sunday school or at home or in the school. I think we have to talk about violence as a common issue. I mean, as an issue that we are facing every day, so that we don't have to live in fear. We are always living in constant fear, saying that okay, we always perhaps have to carry a pepper with us sometimes, or remembering that 181 is safe. These are all kind of a little scary, isn't it? You know,
Yes.
so we just hope that our Nagaland would be safer, and then I hope I hope more cases are reported, but at the same time, more cases are reported in the sense it's a very dicey thing. More cases are reported in the sense there is more crime, and it's saddening that there is more crime. You know, so I don't know.
So okay, let it not be a never-ending cycle. But we, since one way is that our Nagaland society is such a strongly community-bound society, as well as perhaps another thing is most of us are Christians and also members of churches, and so the churches should also give us a good support, background support.
Exactly.
And so besides our families, churches, and our society, but still then one needs to take care of oneself individually also, and be wise in whatever he or she undertakes. So with this note, I believe then we have come to the end of our show for today.
Yeah.
Thank you all
Thank
for
you.
listening.
Yeah.
Thank you all for participating.
Thank you, Highland Dawn, for this platform. Yeah.